The mystery of God's name in the Bible. The name of God in the Bible has been a subject of mystery, reverence, and debate for centuries. In the Old Testament, God's personal name is often represented by the four Hebrew letters YHWH, YHVH, known as the Tetragrammaton. This name appears nearly 7,000 times in the Hebrew Scriptures, yet its exact pronunciation remains uncertain. Ancient Hebrew was written without vowels, and over time, the original way of vocalizing this sacred name was lost. Some scholars suggest that it was pronounced Yahweh, while others propose Jehovah, a later Latinized version. However, due to Jewish tradition, the name was deemed too holy to be spoken aloud, leading to the substitution of titles such as Adonai Lord or Elohim God when reading the scriptures. In Exodus 3:14, when Moses asks for God's name, the response is, I am who I am, Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. This phrase reveals the eternal and self-existent nature of God, emphasizing that he is beyond time and human understanding. The name YHWH is closely linked to this declaration, signifying that God is the ever-living, unchanging one. Despite this, ancient Israel refrained from uttering the divine name, and by the time of the Second Temple period, its pronunciation was largely forgotten. The Masoretes, Jewish scribes who preserved the Hebrew scriptures, inserted vowel markings from Adonai into YHWH to remind readers to say Adonai instead of attempting to pronounce the divine name. This blending of consonants and vowels eventually led to the development of the name Jehovah in the 16th century. The New Testament does not preserve the Tetragrammaton, as Greek manuscripts use Kyrios, Lord, in its place. However, Jesus frequently referred to God as Father, emphasizing a personal relationship rather than a specific name. Some scholars argue that Jesus, as a Jew, would have been aware of God's name, but followed the tradition of not pronouncing it. Additionally, early Christians used the title Theos, God, and Kurios, Lord, when referring to him. The Apostle Paul, in Philippians 2:9-11, states that Jesus has been given the name above every name, leading to theological discussions about the connection between Jesus and the divine name. The mystery of God's name has also been influenced by various translations of the Bible. The King James Version, 1611, included Jehovah in a few verses, while most modern translations prefer Lord in capital letters to signify YHWH. Some versions, such as the American Standard Version, 1901, and the New World Translation, restore Jehovah in multiple places. Meanwhile, Messianic and Hebrew roots movements advocate for using Yahweh or other transliterations to return to the original name. The significance of God's name goes beyond pronunciation. In biblical thought, a name represents character and authority. Proverbs 18:10 declares, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are safe." This verse highlights that trusting in God's name means relying on his power and presence. Likewise, Jesus taught his followers to pray, "Hallowed be your name," Matthew 6:9, indicating that God's name is to be honored and revered. Throughout the Bible, knowing and calling upon God's name is associated with salvation, protection, and a covenant relationship with him. In recent times, the rediscovery of God's name has sparked renewed interest among scholars and religious groups. Some believe that restoring the proper pronunciation is essential for true worship, while others maintain that the meaning and reverence behind the name matter more than its exact sound. The Dead Sea Scrolls, which contain some of the oldest known Hebrew texts, confirm the frequent use of YHWH, yet do not resolve the debate on pronunciation. Linguistic studies continue, but ultimately, the mystery of God's name reflects the divine transcendence and the limits of human understanding. Despite the historical and theological complexities, the Bible makes it clear that God's name is powerful and significant. Whether spoken as Yahweh, Jehovah, or simply acknowledged as Lord, it represents the eternal, sovereign, and holy nature of the Creator. The mystery surrounding the name serves as a reminder that God is beyond human limitations, yet he has made himself known to those who seek him. Ultimately, the importance lies not just in how the name is said, but in how one honors and worships the one it represents.